Coming from Arches and going to the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, you would pass through Capitol Reef National Park. And we had really hoped to be able to pick some cherries when we came through here, but unfortunately they had a freeze in April and they had very few cherries, so there was nothing for us to pick, and no other fruits are in season currently. So we just kind of meandered around, and they're doing a presentation on the sun right now. We have made it to the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument area. Finally made it to the trailhead, which actually is really just up there, but we parked back here since I wasn't sure how many cars were up there, which actually turns out to be none right now, though there was one there when we got here. But anyway, it was a very rough road to get here, hole-in-the-wall road. Washboarding on it was pretty brutal at times, many times, but the little Honda made it. So we're just having our dinner. Actually had a foreign family just leave on their way out just to the Peekaboo and Spooky slot canyons. Sydney apparently has now finished his dinner.
I've been spotted.
No, he's been spotted. Nice juniper tree here. Actually, it's pretty darn healthy given how old it appears. But I'm surprised we have pretty good cell service out here too.
At least 3 bars.
At least 3 bars on Verizon. Woo. So, just sitting there letting my ramen soak on the car, didn't bother heating it up. We're just, of course, the water in the trunk was probably 95 degrees anyway, so just gonna spend a beautiful evening out here,
enjoy that sunset.
Probably about 75% moon now. Yep, the sun just went down probably 10 minutes ago. Gorgeous morning in the Escalante National Monument. We're following the trail down to Peekaboo. You can see a cairn there. Cairn straight ahead up there. I'm pretty sure that out there, if I can see in the viewfinder right, is the slot. Here's the start of Peekaboo, with the little challenging up climb that prevents some people apparently. We made it up the little entrance. And already I'm happy I'm here. I just love the looks of these kinds of things. And you can see right there's the double arch that it's at the beginning of the Peekaboo Slot Canyon. And before you know it, you've reached the end of Peekaboo Slot. Sorry the lighting is not very good because it's early in the morning, so it's hitting a bunch of spaces and not other ones. And you just need to follow this a little bit further out to the top and take a right turn and head over to the Spooky Slot Canyon. If you keep following, peekaboo to the end, you'll discover that there's more fun to be had if you're adventuresome. It's much skinnier than what the previous section had been.
I'm behind you.
I guess Sydney gave up at some point and went up.
Because there's no way out of it.
Yeah, that's true. It keeps getting skinnier and skinnier. And
Well, I'm about 220.
and here we are at a closer end at least. Except I have to go get my backpack again.
Hi.
And yet again it surprises you. There's a third section. Peekaboo. Maybe that's why they call it that. You just keep going and peekaboo, you have another section to go through. That sound that you can probably hear is my backpack with water bottles and a metal trowel scraping against the walls, as well as plastic buckles perhaps. Well, I think we're finally getting to the end. Yep. Well, maybe not. Yeah. And voila, there's a cairn. If you came from the other direction, you can see the huge wash that apparently leads into Spooky down here. You can imagine how all that water that would accumulate from that wash and then meeting up in this very narrow canyon. Force behind that would be incredible in a flash flood. Now, I think we've reached the crux of the route, maybe? The down climb through the boulders. You can see down there where we have to go. And the big boulders up here. So pick your hole, I guess, and figure out which way you want to go. And hopefully you haven't watched 127 hours, right? Well, we made it down. Instead of going through one of those two holes, which I thought was kind of challenging, or that hole, we elected to drop through that hole up there into that area and then slide down through here.
That hurt my stomach.
Alright. Fairly skinny through here. And we get a nice open area. Woohoo! And some light. He was trying to scare me. Roar. It won't work with wearing it. That's why I always carried it behind me. This one has a lot more texture to its walls than Peekaboo did. It's getting much easier to go through right now. I wonder if it will be tricky like Peekaboo was and get really skinny again, like that. Now I'm going to have to stop the camera because I can't do this with one hand. To get back down. Yeah. Sorry for the jerkiness, but I have no hands since I have the pack behind me and the camera in front of me. Yeah, I think I'll wait for him to pass the camera back down, or backpack back down to me here.
I made it. That was quite a small drop. And now we must press on. The walls are getting closer. That's kind of light. Not light. Oh, there's a little bit more. Right away to these tougher peppers. It's getting quite cold. And actually, it's kind of nice.
Ah! A hand!
Oh,
It's only a log.
I was scared there too.
For some perspective, I can almost span the wall there, so it's probably just over 10 inches.
Little old stuff. Very good. Nice and never mind. It got crowded again.
Some nice cross-hatching there. Cross-hatching on that one. Lots of good. Interesting rock layers. Hey, keep the dust down, man. Quit scraping the walls. I wouldn't have had a clue.
Oh, I can't turn the arrow the other way. Oh.
And here we are out. Back into Dry Gulch.
Mini arch!
Well, it's not an arch because it's not 3 feet. Mini hole. So, that was fun. Really enjoyed that.
The expedition is over. We've made it out.
Still not sure it was worth the abuse my car took on the washboarding, but it was great fun to come down here.
That's why we should.
Hopefully, if you follow our footsteps, they will have graded the road. But I imagine that doesn't happen very often. So back out into Dry Gulch here, take a right turn, head back up toward where Peekaboo was, and find the cairns to the trail out. We're now at the trailhead for the Zebra Slot Canyon, right past this third cattle guard, and heads off in this direction, eventually meeting up with that wash over there that you can see kind of down that way. So just follow the trail. And 2.5 miles and you're there. I bet that's the pothole people have mentioned in the past. Finally down on the main wash, which I think is Harris Wash, and kind of head off to the left. We come back down into that little wash for a while, and eventually come up on the entrance to the Zebra Slot Canyon. It's just a little bit sandy out here. You can see a lot of sand has blown into the mouth of the canyon too. I already see several of the famous Moki marbles. And finally some well-deserved shade. We're joined on our tour today in one of the coolest parts of Zebra Canyon by a little ground squirrel. You can see him right there. And the bird, which you might not be able to see, but he's right in the middle of the frame on the wall.
It's okay, guys. Little ground squirrel. I think we'll call him Squirrely. Or she called him ground squirrel.
There is the infamous bird nest.
But he does have a nest.
few eggs. See, they're not happy. I'm going to need both hands for this part. Mr. Spider-Man is working his way up the crux of the route. Finally made it past the crux of the route. Here are the potholes that generally stop people from continuing onward. You can see all the smoky marbles down in the bottom. Might be able to get past this one, I don't know. I'm going to accept defeat. I don't have the canyoneering skills or equipment to make sure I can get up that little side right there without slipping down back into the pool. It's not deep. I mean, you can easily see the bottom. In fact, the bottom's sticking out right there. But it's just too steep with not enough for me to grab onto, at least. I try to make it up and around there. And I know that there's at least 2 more up ahead. I could see one, the light shimmering off from the sun way up there. So we're just gonna turn back around. This is the cooler part of the canyon anyway because of the zebra stripes. This really was a very cool rock canyon. Unfortunately short. But not sure what exactly this little critter is, but happened to see him as we were walking out. I think it sucked to be him. Don't make a lot of progress trying to get going in the sand, especially when you're carrying along, I don't know if that's a cocoon type of thing or what it is, since I'm not sure exactly what kind of bug that is. There's a fire waiting to happen, huh? It's like a tumbleweed graveyard. Almost out. It's been exactly 3 hours so far. And we're fairly near the road, so it should be less than 10 minutes. Definitely worth seeing. I would highly recommend, if you want to get good pictures, to obviously come either earlier in the morning or late afternoon. As we were going into the canyon, it was a little better, but once we turned around, the sun had creeped over a bit more.